Online sexual exploitation of children in the Philippines could still be one of the crimes in the country that have become uncontrollable. With the internet becoming more accessible, this crime is only expected to continue unless an intervention is made. Gone are the days when children can be warned about the dangers of talking to strangers, let alone letting them inside the house without the parents around. Now, with the presence of more technology, these strangers can harm children even when they're on the other side of the world. How serious is this type of sexual exploitation in the Philippines? This is Speak Up, bringing you all information about the Philippines. This includes weekly trending news taken from a variety of resources where you can know different views of people on certain issues. Let's look into the details surrounding years and thousands of sex crimes committed online involving children in the Philippines. Picture this: a middle-aged man with a full beard smiling while intently watching as kids play innocently with each other. Some people might think it's a harmless act, like the old man could be Santa Claus checking if the children are being naughty or nice. But once you take a peek into this man's mind, you'll be shocked to find the most horrific things he imagines doing to a child. Last April of this year, a notorious sex offender was caught in Cebu through the joint efforts of local and international authorities. They found thousands of videos and images of children abused by an adult in his possession. The suspect is identified to be one of the European Union's Agency for Law Enforcement Cooperation's most wanted criminal for the production and distribution of child sexual exploitation materials. After his arrest, several of his victims have come out to reveal their identities and the extent of the suspect's crimes. There were 8 victims identified with ages between 3 and 11 years old. The International Justice Mission, or IJM, an anti-trafficking group, said in a press statement that the suspect operated online through a network of fake identities and digital security measures. They added that he assaulted his victims and also filmed the attacks. Then he distributed the videos on the dark web. An article in BBC News posted last July 2019 also revealed the first in Scotland to be convicted of live streaming abuse of children. He has been jailed for 9 years. According to the report, he directed attacks through female pedophiles in the Philippines to prey on the children as he watched from his home. These are just 2 of thousands of cases of online sexual exploitation of children in the Philippines. This has remained prevalent, with half of the young victims around 12 years old or younger, with a 3-month-old as the youngest. And currently, the Philippines is still in the list of top 10 countries with the highest cases of online sexual exploitation of children. It is also alarming to know that many parents even act as perpetrators in these crimes. Just last July 30, a 45-year-old woman was sentenced to 15 years in prison for trafficking minors, at least 5 minors aged 6 to 17, including her daughter. She's the latest among those arrested for online sex trafficking in Cebu. According to charities, tens of thousands of girls in the Philippines could be trapped in the sex trade, and many of them are abused online for clients around the globe. This is highly possible due to the country's affordable and high-speed internet, widespread poverty, and the people's ability to communicate in English. A U.S. investigator working with the IJM said that there have been about 60,000 reports received of online child sexual exploitation in 2018. However, some of the main deterrents to the operations are the involvement of families in the exploitation of their own children, the victim's inability or fear of speaking out about being abused, and modern technology. It was said that the victims were convinced by their own parents or guardians that their sexual acts shown online were harmless as there is no physical contact. This just goes to show the extent of depravity in some areas in the country. It might be due to extreme poverty. People could become so desperate that they turn to this trade even if they have to sacrifice their own children. It is really disturbing to know the great lengths they can go to just to earn money. This also reveals how many sex offenders there are in the world just waiting for someone to prey on. It can be quite easy for them to gain entry to someone's life and earn trust because they can even pose as missionaries or NGO workers who could offer to pay for children's schooling as claimed by the FBI. Only the cases discovered in the operation set up to catch perpetrators and rescue victims are known. There could still be thousands of them out there that are hidden and undiscovered, just like these sex offenders. Perhaps the solution to this can come only from the Philippine government. Countries, especially those where most of the sex offenders are, should agree to intensify efforts further to track and apprehend these predators, as well as amend laws against this crime to enact harsher punishments. It was also said by the FBI that the trade has flourished because offenders perceive cybersex as safer and relatively cheap. The payment is also easy via remittance centers and there is control over what they purchase. If the laws are stricter, then these offenders wouldn't think this way. As long as there are people who are willing to pay for cybersex, the possibility of online sexual exploitation of children will still be present. In this modern world, there is still only so much that can be done for the youth, but there are a great number of things that the youth can do for the future. This is the weekly trending news. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.